All right, the last secret weapon on the panel is the man to my immediate left. And he's a secret weapon because he's the kind of voice that we need to see more of at content summits like this, because he's a foot soldier. It looks great in a suit, but this has his hands in more startups than probably half of the room. And they've been successful, and he's got a great track record in history, and he's also the guy who puts his name, along with his collaborators, on dozens and dozens and dozens of patents. So Reza Rassool is joining us at a crowdfunding seminar to talk a little bit about the value of that crowd contact. And once you've got people that are already interested in your product, once you know who that audience is, what's the next step? Instead of just getting them together to finance the project, is there a way to get them together to get that project out to the world? So using crowdfunding as a distribution finance mechanism. And that's what one of his companies, Gathr Films, is all about. Reza, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, and then talk about that new platform.
Okay, thanks so much. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for the kind introduction. Actually, I wonder if you can fire up the video. Well, Kwaai, in Cape Town street parlance, where I was born, means wild, but it also means cool, in the same way that the word wicked has a good connotation and a bad connotation. The word oak means guy or guys. Oak also gives you an idea of solidity, of strength, of wisdom, and of a structure that is the progenitor of many acorns that in their own right will one day grow up to be mighty oaks themselves. So Kwaai Oak's ideal customer is a non-technical entrepreneur that's got a business idea, preferably has funding, although we can help with that as well. Where we come in, we strive to understand and even refine that business idea and convert that into a technical implementation. In many cases, the entrepreneur has no wish or ambition to become a technologist themselves, and technology is a means to an end to implement their business idea. And this is where Kwaai Oak can really help. Well, to date, I've been a serial one-man band consulting practice, going into startups, setting up teams and implementing the vision of an entrepreneur. Now, Kwaai Oak is scaling up, and in so doing, offers not only myself, but an entire team of developers. And we tag it CTO as a service. In fact, it's more than a CTO, it's in the entire technical department. And we offer this in a scalable, flexible format that matches the constraints and the needs of a young startup. So let Kwaai Oak ease the angst of your tech startup.
So thanks for humoring me for that. And then, Ashley, I wonder if you can go to the Gathr Films site. So Gathr Films was the first real client for this new scaled-up CTO as a service practice. And Gathr Films is really the subject of what we want to talk about today. They're in the business of crowdsourcing audiences for theatrical distribution. So it's a natural follow-on from your crowdfunding activities. Let's say you've crowdfunded your movie. How do you then distribute it? Well, you can use that very same crowd to help distribute your movie. Somebody likened it as if Kickstarter and Netflix would have had a child, it would have been Gathr Films.
I think if one of them had an affair with Groupon, that's Gathr Films.
Okay, it could be a three-way and make an interesting movie. Gosh, you're killing me. Okay. Imagine a platform where a consumer can look at their local theater and say, wow, these dozen blockbuster movies that you're feeding me with that are really targeted for teenage boys don't appeal to me. I'd really like something more intellectual, something different, some alternate content. So you can do that on the Gathr platform. You can actually request that movie to be played at your local theater. And we give you the tools to promote that amongst your friends and family. And then we negotiate with the local theatre in order to make that happen. And we negotiate all the deal terms and make sure that everyone, all the parties involved, are equitably reimbursed for their participation in the whole screening. Indie movie makers can submit their movie to the Gathr platform and end up with a share of the proceeds that they probably wouldn't have got through traditional distribution. And it's a no-risk proposition for them. They don't have to place the traditional guarantees that you would do if you were four-walling a theatre, for instance. The theatre owners also see this as found money because it's an ability to get movies with a ready-made audience into their theatres during the midweek period where there's low traffic. One of the staggering statistics in the US cinema market is that 99% of theatrical seating capacity lies empty from Monday to Thursday. So here you've got this unused capacity, and then you've got all these great quality movies. 6,000 movies released last year of festival quality caliber. But each year, Hollywood reduces the number of movies that they actually put through distribution. The budget's the same, the marketing budget's the same, maybe even more. So what does that mean? It means really that consumers are getting less and less choice each year. And so Gathr Films is one of the crowdsourcing pioneers of basically a rebellion of the audience saying, we want more choice.
You bring up an important point about kind of clients that are going to be paying for distribution. Did you guys notice? Did you notice the one slide, the one film that jumped out at you, hit you over the head, and said, "That's the perfect example"? Pearl Jam 20.
Yeah.
All right. So as an example, right, as a brand that already exists in the universe, that has cliquish, communal, tribal sensitivities or parameters already established. That's the kind of content that is so easy to understand, can work really well from a crowdfunding or crowdsourcing kind of set of conditions.
Absolutely. It's not too soon to come to us and start planning your distribution strategy, even before the film's made. You know, many times a film's actually funded having its rights already pre-sold. So what we've done is we've built some predictive tools into the Gathr platform to allow you to actually predict how much distribution you're going to get based on the email list size you have, based on the Facebook following you have, based on the Twitter following, and aggregating that across all of the artists that are in the movie. So you can actually predict to a reasonable level of accuracy how your film is going to do, and use that to actually fund its creation. So a couple of big fan-driven movies have gone through the platform. The Pearl Jam one's just doing gangbusters at the moment. Mumford & Sons, Big Easy Express, amazing long-tail performance. So the distribution strategy for these movies is not the traditional distribution of blocking out 2-3 weeks of a window of theatrical distribution. No, it's on the platform and it's there for the long haul, and the revenue just trickles in. So Gathr's able to find where the demand is across the country and get you those single screenings and do it more profitably than you'd be able to do it through traditional methods.
Perfect. All right, we have one more example before you can come and get their business cards and hunt them down. And each of them has an hourly rate that I don't want to pay, so if you really want to get information from them, get it from them now. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
It was a great panel. Sure.